Hi everybody, Morgana Galaxia here. Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you could be with me today. How y'all doing out there? Are you stuck to the news like me? Because there's some cray going on right now. So I want to get to some reading. So yeah, the ridiculous Texas lawsuit that all those AGs signed on to for all those states, like 17 states or something, signing on with Texas to sue the battleground states. Oh my God. I've never even heard of anything like that happening in this country. Open sedition, people. Open sedition. So, you know, the other half of the country is kind of laughing at that. But, you know, Trump, he has a way of making things happen, accomplishing certain things that no one ever would have thought was possible. So I don't think that lawsuit's going to go anywhere. It's ridiculous on its face, but let's take a look at that lawsuit and, you know, maybe some questions around that lawsuit. I also want to look at Inauguration Day because, you know, Trump's basically saying he might have a rally on Inauguration Day, maybe to announce that he's running for 2024. So what I want to ask is he going to declare himself the rightful president and try and mobilize his supporters to, I don't know, fight for, you know, this whole Civil War thing, right? It's kind of crazy, but I'm going to ask a few questions about if he has a rally, what's he going to do? Okay, so that's kind of where I'm going today. I've been shuffling already. Let's ask some questions. Let's start out with this lawsuit, right? So Texas and these Republicans. So what do I want to know first thing? Is the Supreme Court gonna listen, right? So anytime one state sues another state, apparently it goes right to the Supreme Court, which is why Trump's doing this, because none of his other avenues to the Supreme Court panned out. This is the way he can get himself in the Supreme Court. And he found this Texas AG who could be in the market for a pardon, let's just say, as he's currently under indictment. In the market for a pardon, initiating this lawsuit. A bunch of other GOP red states signed on to it. Crazy. Is the Supreme Court going to take this case, Spirit? Is the Supreme Court going to take this Texas state-to-state lawsuit? Okay, you know which lawsuit I'm talking about. Trump, Texas, and all those other states suing the battleground states. Is that case going to be heard by the Supreme Court? Is that case going to be heard by the Supreme Court? Okay. Let's do this right here. All right, you guys. I'm just going to pick a few cards on this. Crazy. All right. Okay. So is the Supreme Court going to hear this case? So, okay, here we're starting with the Four of Pentacles, okay? So that's hunkering down. I feel like those are the AGs, okay? They're sitting in their seats as AG, coming together to enact this kind of lawsuit. Four of Pentacles. So this card is telling us there's money involved in here. People who have the money to be secure, okay, I'm not talking about poor people here, but the people that have money, they have security, yet they're insecure. They're holding their money close to their chest, and they're hunkering down. So I'm getting the sense that these are, I guess I want to say this is, I'm going to say this is actually Trump here. And he is, okay, I'm going to say this is Trump, and all those coins are the AGs, okay? Those are his resources, and he's bringing them close, holding them close, getting them to do his will, right? That's his security. That's what he's setting his foundation on at the moment. That's his security. All those coins in his pocket, all those AGs, he's bringing them close to him. Here they're walking. This is the challenge. They're walking away, okay? And this, the 8 of Cups, walking away. So, you know, the questions about the Supreme Court, and the feeling that I'm getting with this is that 8 of the 9 possibly will just say no. They're not going to hear this. And maybe with one dissent, okay? Possibly one dissent. Kavanaugh, maybe, who knows? But otherwise, no, Supreme Court don't want to touch this with a 10-foot pole. And the outcome with the 8 of Pentacles again, okay, 8 of Pentacles is going back to work, So I'm going to say, no, this isn't going to go to the Supreme Court. Maybe one would have been willing to take a listen, but it just doesn't, they're just walking away from these AGs, okay? They're just walking away from it. They don't have nothing to do with it. And I guess this is maybe the AGs or maybe Trump going back to the drawing board, getting back to work, trying to, you know, come up with something else. You know, if this is, yeah. So I'm going to say no. That looks like a no-go. That looks like a no-go. Okay, so the next thing I want to ask is why? What is their intention here? I mean, this lawsuit is so beyond the pale. Okay, nothing like this has ever happened. Who the hell gives Texas the right to think that they can tell another state how to run their election right? Why? So I want to take a look at the intent here. Are they really on board with this? They think that there's some legal standing they can pull out of their ass to make this happen. Are they under duress? Are they being coerced? I'd like to know their intent on this for these AGs, okay? Because this is really unheard of. And, all right, let's take a look at these AGs and the intent. Why are they doing this? Why? Let's take a look down. Let's come on down. All right. Why? All right. So why are the AGs bringing this case? What is the intention behind this? What is going on here? So we're starting out here with the sun. Illumination, exposure. Okay, there's hope and optimism with the sun as well. Sorry if there's a reflection on my card. So this card would tell me that they're optimistic, that they can succeed, or they're optimistic that they can expose something going on in these battleground states. I would say, you know, in my thoughts of, are they doing this of their own accord or is there coercion? This initially is telling me this is of their own accord, okay? They have hope and optimism in this regard. What is crossing them with the Knight of Swords here? What's crossing them is the truth. The truth is right there to cut them down, all right? It's coming roaring into battle. the Knight of Truth this is just all false, and this is fighting the legality of it. This is just the legal battle here. Truth is on the side of their opponent, okay? And what's challenging them is that they're going to be cut down with the truth. There's no standing, okay? What is in the sky above them with the Eight of Wands? Okay, so this is a lot of attacks being hurled, okay? I definitely feel like these are crossing the nation. These arrows are crossing the nation from state to state. There's a lot coming really fast. How many are here? There's 8 again. So either, this can certainly refer to the case itself of all these AGs, that they're filing against the battleground states. But I wouldn't be surprised if they find very quickly countersuits aimed right back at them, okay, for voter, election fraud or whatever. We can look for possibly some countersuits there, but there's a lot in the air. There's a lot in the air going back and forth from this state to that state over the country. So that's what that's saying for sure. Foundationally, what's underneath this question is the King of Wands. All right. So there's Trumpy Trump on his throne making this happen. Okay, he asked for this. He's insisting on it. He's demanding it. He's the king, and he's making this happen. Let's not make no mistake about that. Regardless of I don't want to say sincere, but even if these AGs really think there's a case here, which is ridiculous, they're all lawyers. They should know better. The fact is they wouldn't have done this without Trump making them do it, okay? In the past, with the Knight of Cups, this is the emotion surrounding the election and the fact that Trump has just been beside himself. All these Republicans have been beside themselves. All the Trumpsters, everyone's been beside themselves. There's been a lot of emotion flowing over this election, on both sides, obviously. But that's what's been leading to this, is just so much emotion. I just think that maybe their constituents, the Trumpsters are giving these people a little bit of cover to go ahead and do this. I don't even believe it coming out of my own mouth, because they're attorneys general. They're lawyers, not just any old lawyer, but elevated lawyers, responsible for their states. It's hard to imagine any of them think that this is a valid lawsuit. That they're looking to shine the light on something, and it's driven by emotion. Where it's going to, though, interesting, because there's a knight. You can see there's a knight on either side. We got the Knight of Cups and we got the Knight of Wands right here. I would say that this is just a battle, not in the Supreme Court, though. This is more of a battle on the ground. So a lot of people are pushing back against this. This isn't just rolling forward with everybody turning their heads. There are people who are fighting this, okay? You can see this knight and this knight, they're facing each other. They're about to do battle over this question here. And here's the third knight, the Knight of Swords already here. We read on that already. So, all the players are out, okay? So, whether it's Trump's henchmen or, whatever groups lawyers would be fighting this in court, all of the lawyers are out. All of the lawyers are out fighting right here. Okay. So this lawsuit, the here and now for this lawsuit, kind of another, what it's all about with the Two of Pentacles is it's about juggling. Juggling money. There's often an overseas element to this card. There's an international flavor to it. There might be some money being juggled. Okay, some international money being juggled somehow regarding the situation. So say, for example, if Trump is saying he's going to kick him back some money, that's going to pay him for this, that money's probably going to come from overseas, okay? Or the reason that they're jumping on board with this might be because they're individually juggling money from overseas, or there's something they got in the air that's maybe putting them at risk. Okay, so outside influences with the Page of Pentacles, more news about money. This is often can be a bribery card, a offer of money. So yeah, that's the outside influence right there. A little bribery, a little kickback, a little coinage for your duty to the master, okay? Hopes and fears is the Karma card. The Karma card. So what a great card, because that is both the hope and the fear, depending on what side you're on. For these AGs, this would be a fear. The fear is that karma is going to come get them for their behavior, that they're going to pay for what they're doing, that their fortunes are going to change, okay? Because, you know, if they all lose their seats, if they get voted out, you know, if their constituents come to get them, that kind of change of fortune would definitely be their karma. And of course, if you're on the other side, you want that same thing, for their karma to come and get them. So there's the karma right there. And for the outcome, we have the Queen of Cups. We have the Queen of Cups. So the outcome, I want to say the outcome is that this is going to hit up against a queen, a leader, someone who has the authority, who's in power there. With these cups, this is someone who is also very emotional or understands the emotional dynamics of this question. But there might be an unexposed secret here. So I'm asking what the intent is here behind this. Why are they doing this? I'm really getting here is that with very high emotion, they want to keep the lid on something that they're holding on to. So I suspect with the sun, so I'm going to go back to the sun, the very first card. The card is the face of this question. Why are they doing this? Exposure, right? So the sun is all about exposure. Now the sun is the life bringer, often has that hope and optimism, but the sun can also be very brutal. It will kill you, right? If you're left out under that element. So I think I'm going to go back and say this card is about exposure. Exposing what they've got under wraps right here in this cup here. And it's very emotionally charged. Very emotionally charged. Because these people hold on to power. It's all about power, power, power. They'll keep it at all costs, even destroying democracy, right? So I'm thinking they're fearing exposure. They're being crossed by the law, okay? That knight with the law that's of truth is coming after them. But this knight isn't the only one on the scene. We've got the Knight of Cups. We've got the Knight of Wands. There's lots of opinions here, lots of parties involved here. This isn't a two-sided lawsuit, which we know there's lots of different lawyers involved, lots of parties involved, lots of probably different intentions involved. It's a quagmire, it's a mess, and there, you know, that's why there's so many things happening so quickly. Multiples of things, multiple lawsuits, multiple parties involved, all driven by Trump. Okay, but once we get over here, now you start finding the money from overseas. There's a bribe. They're scared of their karma. Okay, and they're trying to keep something under wraps. So I'm going to suspect that at the end with this whole reading, I feel like it's what the cards are telling me is that it's a combination of maybe some bribery and some financial kickbacks for some, and threats of exposure to others. You know, Trump's got to know some information, some secrets about these people, especially if it has anything to do with overseas. And yeah, I think he can, there's some coercion there. I think it's a combination. Some are being coerced, some are being bribed or paid off. There's a lot of different parties with a lot of different agendas. There's a lot of lawyers involved. It's just a mess. It's a mess. So as far as the reasoning for that, the first card said it loud and clear. It's all about exposure, or preventing their personal exposure. I think they're pleasing their king, because the king has the control. He's got something on these people. He's got some information on them that they want to keep hidden. I'd like to know what their outcome is. Okay, so I know that, you know, there's many different AGs involved here. They're not all going to have the same outcome, Spirit. So how can we ask this? What's going to happen to these AGs? What's going to happen? Can you show me if any of them, how does a nation correct something like this? It's never happened before. You know, we don't have these laws in place because it's never happened. This is the first coup attempt in the United States. Okay, here's my question. This is what I wanted to know. I was thinking about this the other day, right? How does something like this end? And here's my question. Will the military have to get involved? Okay, whether it's the military and or intelligence, right? The whole national security outfit of the country. So that's intelligence. That's also the Pentagon and the military. I know they're different, but I feel like both of these groups know exactly who Trump is and what he's doing. And if they don't see the civilian leadership being able to stop a coup, is it their responsibility to step in, protect this nation, and stop a coup? So that's my question. For the purposes of this question, I am grouping, intelligence and military together, okay? Are either one of them going to have to intercede in this situation? Or maybe not in this situation exactly, because I also want to go towards Trump's rally, right? Intelligence, military. So I know the cards sometimes overdo my voice, but intelligence, military, Spirit, show me if they'll be playing a role in protecting this nation at some point here. Please. Okay, let's bring it on down again. All right. So will military have to play a role? Okay, so here we have the Fool, which is the beginning of a new venture, a road never before traveled. something that generally you actually look upon with joy and glee, you know, with enthusiasm, with lightheartedness when you start, you know, a brand new adventure. It's that childlike wonder of discovering the world. So, okay. The challenge with the Ace of Pentacles, so that's sort of financial. Okay, where am I going with this, Spirit? Let me get into this. All right, viewers, so just trying to get a grip on the message coming through here. So I think I'm going with, you know, this would be definitely a road never traveled before for intelligence or military, right? Having to step in to stop a coup, that would definitely be something they've never done before. It's possible with this president, they might enjoy it a little bit, but there's also this element of stepping off a cliff. Something like that, once it's done, can never be undone, will never be forgotten, is not to be taken lightly, okay? So what's crossing them, you know, is with the Ace of Pentacles, maybe it's just their financial issues. Financial issues somehow is crossing them. Okay. What's in the sky above this question, what's conscious with Temperance, is they must be very careful, very prudent, okay? They would not take this step lightly. They need to not step in unless it is absolutely the last straw, the last chance, the last remedy, okay? They're very wise to be so prudent. This is not something that should be resolved in this way, okay? It needs to be done in a different way. Military intervention or intelligence, you know, agency intervention. Just, it would have to be a very careful, thoroughly documented, thoroughly vetted remedy, okay? Last resort. What's foundational to this, or what's unconscious with the Seven of Wands here, is this is defending yourself. This is defending yourself. So, you know, I'm getting a couple different feelings from this, but one of them for sure is that if the military were to do this, if the military would do something like that, they would be defending themselves for the rest of American history. Okay, this would be looked at across the ages. This would be one for the history books. Okay, so given the severity of that action and the power of the military, I think we would always be looking back, wondering if that was the right thing to do. They'd always be defending that action, okay? And that would actually put the military or intelligence in a very weak position, because there's always going to be people who think they overstepped and abused democracy or the president or what have you. So they don't want to take this step. They'd be the big man on the field, right? I mean, once the military steps in, you're done, okay? Because they got the big guns. There's a lot of responsibility with that, and they don't want it. So, recent past, all Trump's garbage flying through the air. Oh, kind of cray coming from this guy. Any number of things. You know, if we were another country, they might have been like, that's not, but not in this country, okay? They're going to give the president all the leeway because they don't want to be the ones to step in. And the energy we're moving into with this. So think the energy we're moving into with this, I'm asking specifically about the military and intelligence. The quip in my brain is they got a bun in the oven. But this is about the mother. This card is about the mother and abundance and birthing something new. So I don't think at this time anyway that the military or intelligence have any plans to intercede in anything, because it would be too severe an action and it would undermine them too seriously and for too long. They would much rather go about it a different way, and I feel like that way is letting maybe the new administration and all the women and all the different people, Biden's administration, not just women, obviously, but there's a lot of women in that administration. I just feel like they're going to let it be taken care of through the new administration and all the women in power there. They're going to be hatching. They're going to be hatching all the plans and all the ideas and all the remedies, and they've got the bun in the oven, I think, is where that's going. So this is kind of telling me it's just not going to get there. It's just not going to get there because the military won't do anything unless it's absolutely imperative, and it's just not going to get there. I guess that's good news. Okay, I guess that's good news. That would be a very serious type of undertaking. Okay. But are any of these people going to lose their seats or be punished or go to jail? They're finally using the word sedition. They're finally on the media. And that's what it is. So just a little quick peek, Spirit. Can you show me if anybody's going to be held accountable for this? Not just Trump, but any of these AGs. All right, I want to know, is anybody going to pay? Is anybody ever going to pay for any of this behavior? All right, Spirit. All right. Consequences. Consequences. Let's bring it down. Okay, is anyone going to pay? Is anyone going to be held to account? So the situation is you've got people in bed, you've got the lovers, right? So these are people in bed together doing work. So people in bed working on these things together. So fine, okay. What we know about this situation with the Queen of Swords is that there's no legal merit, okay? The Queen is going to strike this down with her sword of truth. The law ultimately will have to say there's no legal merit here. So what's really wrong with the situation with the Four of Cups? What's really, there's a lot of things wrong with this situation, but really what it's doing is it's making the electorate, the American citizens, not trust democracy, not trust their votes, not trust elections, okay? They're thinking, yeah, you can count your votes, but doesn't mean anything. It's apathy, okay? This is voter apathy. Politicians have been wondering a long time, why are the American voters so apathetic? Because of garbage like this, because we know our votes only mean so much. There's nothing that individual people can do to fight this kind of corruption. All right, so question mark here, where do we need to look for more answers with the Three of Cups? So this is toasting the cups, celebration, community support. So we need to, I feel like maybe what we need to be looking at are the relationships between these Republican AGs. You know, they all jumped on board together, maybe not all of them. I don't know how many there are total, but they all jumped on board together for this lawsuit. So there was some community support there with them, okay? Why? And the exclamation point when action needs to be taken here with the Queen of Pentacles. Look, follow the money. You need to follow the money. So I'm thinking this is what they're celebrating here, okay? They got some money out of this. So consequences, am I seeing consequences? Not yet. I'm more seeing the situation. Yeah, they're in bed together doing their dirty work. Yeah, the law's gonna say you got no legal standing. What the hell are you doing? They're damaging, voter faith in the system. They're all cheering their cups, celebrating like they did something fantastic together. But here, we got to look at the money. That's what this card is telling us. Follow the money. So again, just like the other reading, money seems to be at the basis of why these people are doing something. Maybe that's, if you want to hold these people accountable, that's where you need to start. Follow the money. But not yet. I didn't see any going to jail cards or judgment, right? I didn't see those quite yet, which really is frustrating. Okay, so I want to move on to Inauguration Day. And is Trump going to throw a rally in Florida and announce? So he's been kind of saying he might announce his run for 2024. But I'm wondering if it's going to be something even bigger. And I'll tell you why. Because he's still going on about voter fraud, right? Voter fraud, mass fraud all over the place. Voter fraud, oh my God, overturn the elections, voter fraud. He's going to extreme lengths to overturn this election. So when he's at his rally up in front of all those people in Florida, is he going to say, oh, Biden's getting inaugurated down the street, I'm going to run in 2024? Hell no. He's not going to concede that Biden won the election, even on Inauguration Day. I bet he won't concede Biden won the election. What's his alternative? To continue to claim voter fraud, to continue to say it was a bogus election, to continue to say he really won. I think he's going to stand up there on that stage. This is what I'm going to ask the cards. I think he's going to stand up there on that stage and say, I won. I'm the true and legitimate president. Biden's an illegitimate president. You are my voters and supporters. You need to fight for me. You need to fight for me, your legitimate president, that this was a sham election, right? And I think this is going to be his attempt to start that whole Civil War thing. I think that he's going to try and rile up his supporters to start attacking Democratic infrastructure, harassing lawmakers. They're doing that already. Whatever him and Don Jr. can think of to get them to do. I want to know, Spirit, I would like to know if Trump has a rally. Well, first of all, let's ask, is he going to have that rally? Is he going to have a rally is Trump going to have a rally on Inauguration Day? Is Trump going to rally on Inauguration Day in Florida or any other state? Is Trump going to have a rally? Is Trump going to have a rally? Just say yes or no, Spirit. Oof. Well, I got a no card. Okay. I got the 5 of Cups. So that's showing loss. Okay. That's despondent over loss. So things might kind of crap out for him before Election Day even happens. things might crap out for him before election day even happens. All right. He might not make it that far. He might not make it that far. All right, Spirit. If he has his rally, is he going to declare himself the president, the legitimate president? If Trump has his rally, will he declare himself the legitimate president? We're going to do this. Yeah, let's just do it. Ooh. Interesting. Okay. If he has his rally. So the face of the question, here he is at his rally, cheering the cups, celebrating, telling everybody, I won, the victory's mine. Everyone's celebrating. He's a legitimate president, okay? So it's a celebratory kind of feeling here with his supporters. This is about the support of your community, the support of your friends, right? Everyone's coming to your aid and cheering you on. That's what that rally is happening right there. And what is challenging them is the Tower. Because he done lost. I mean, he's in his Tower moment, okay? Everything's fallen down around him. It's over. It's done for him. He's not facing this reality, okay? This is absolutely what's challenging him. His fake celebratory, I'm the legitimate president garbage is he's destroyed. Okay, in the sky, what's conscious to him here with the star is, yeah, he's a star of the show. He's going to be talking up his supporters. He's going to give them all the Americana bull crap, trying to rile them up to save their nation. Save their nation. He's a legitimate president. They need to fight the system, fight it. It's all fraud, fight it, okay? Calling to them to kind of make that new America. Foundational to this question, or what's often in the subconscious, with the Two of Wands. Ooh, he is thinking and planning, strategizing. But look at that, he's looking overseas. He's already thinking, how's he going to get away? How's he going to escape? Where's he going to go? He's looking to jet, okay, overseas. And what was interesting, because this is the same as with the last question, got the Queen of Swords here. Queen of Swords are saying there is no legal merit, okay? You got no leg to stand on. And again, what's the remedy? The new administration. All these women, that female power, the new administration, they got the bun in the oven. They're hatching the plans. They're going to have to come up with something, because nobody else can, I don't know, nobody else is doing it. I mean, Trump's in his Tower moment, for Christ's sake, and he's just so delusional. So just to wrap up, the cards are saying, chances are, the greatest likelihood is that Trump's not going to have a rally that day, because it's already over for him, okay? Chances are not likely. He's going to probably be already gone. His aides are talking about, if he goes to Mar-a-Lago for Christmas, he's probably not going to come back. Don't come back. Stay your ass over there. Stay in Mar-a-Lago, please. Don't come back. So it might be a moot point. But if he does have that rally, he's really got nowhere else to go. He's never going to fess up to being wrong or having lost. He's got nowhere else verbally to go than to continue saying that he won. He's a legitimate president. He's going to continue to rile up that base. And at that point, because it's Inauguration Day, I fear that he might try and get them to start doing stuff, okay? Fighting the state. if he makes it that far. But that's a big old if, okay? Because it's not looking good for Mr. Trump. Okay, you guys, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you for coming back and visiting me at my channel. I enjoy these reads so much. I'll be back with you guys in a few more days. If you liked what you saw, please like. I would love to have you as a subscriber. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Okay, take care.